We are live, baby. We are live. Live and wreck, live and wreck, live and wreck, live and wreck. It's your boy, always real, never fake. Alex Raw Tech is in the building. Coming at you guys with another one, guys. This is only going to be a 1 hour live stream. So we're going to be here till like 8 o'clock. Yeah, 8 o'clock. Getting the mic set up. I know I should have done this first, but I was trying to. There's some way that I don't know how to mess with this. Like, there's some way that I could have something going across. What's up? What's up, TJ? Oh, I got it done. You guys can see your comments now right here on the right hand of the live stream. You guys can see your comments. I turned that on. It's some kind of beta. So anyway, what's up, TJ? I wanted to talk more about Total because I couldn't record what the person was showing me on the computer but you're not only getting the $10 discount for home internet when you have a Total line. For having a Total line, you get a huge discount on Verizon Files. You get a 5-year price lock guarantee if you're a Total customer. Like if you were a Verizon regular wireless customer, which is crazy. And how they now, even on the Androids, now it shows Verizon on Total. Like if you get a Samsung Galaxy A16, whatever Samsung Galaxy A36 with Total, the phone will show Verizon on the bars. It will not show TFW no more. So that means to me that Verizon should have never changed the name from Total by Verizon to Total Wireless again. It should have just stayed Total by Verizon. And that leads me to believe that T-Mobile should do the same thing with Metro. So, of course, I said I was going to do it on every live stream. It's called Metro by T-Mobile. Just put T-Mobile on Metro. That's it. It says T-Mobile anyway when I put it on Androids. Well, unlocked Androids. It'll pick up T-Mobile instead of Metro. And I think that Metro needs to take a page from Verizon's book with Total and change it to T-Mobile. So now people are not going to know that you have Total because your signal bar will say Verizon, whether you have an Android or you have an iPhone, which I think is great. Like I said, I want to crack down this thing that I seen on the computer. You're getting awesome deals on files. So if you have files available in your area, meaning where you live at, why not get Verizon Files? Why not give Verizon Files a try, right? And get Verizon Files, what is that called? Oh my God, fiber home internet. And you're getting a huge discount for being a Total customer. So I couldn't believe it. It made, to be honest, it made me want to cancel my files and reactivate it with Total at the Total store. Because I would be paying $75 for the internet before taxes, with autopay, of course. $75 for the internet when I pay $105. $75. So I would be saving $30 a month, which it's not a little bit of money, it's a lot. When you're talking about $30 a month, now if the difference would have been $2 or $3, that ain't shit. But when you're talking about a whole $30 difference on your files bill because you have Total by Verizon, I'm not calling it Total Wireless no more because now my bars, you guys already showed you on the iPhone 14 Pro. I'm not turning on the camera because it starts lagging and skipping, and I don't got time to be frustrated. So I'm gonna leave the camera off, but you guys know that I already showed you plenty of times that my signal bars say Verizon. Right by the signal bar, does not say TFW. And the Androids in the store, it said Verizon. The only reason I didn't record all the phones and show you that the Android showed Verizon was because I didn't know my 17 Pro was so fucking awesome. I got a curse because it's true. It's so fucking awesome. Like the phone blocked out all the freaking music that was played super loud in the Total store. And that's why you heard me say in that video, YouTube, you can't punish me for copyrighted music that's being played by the Total store, which is true. And the freaking iPhone 17 Pro is so fucking awesome that it blocks out the music. Like completely, you did not hear no type of music. You heard me talking and me asking the girl questions and her answering the questions. Like, it's just crazy how incredible the iPhone 17 Pro is. Put a case on it. Put a case on it. Seriously, put a case on it. It's not that hard. I bought 5 different cases for my iPhone 17 Pro because it's a $1,600 damn investment. And of course, I'm going to take care of it. Rocking your phone naked without a case is a dumb idea. But back to what I was saying. You get 1 gig of internet for $75. Then for $10 more, $85, you get 2 gigs guaranteed with Verizon Files as a total customer for $85. $85. Or was it 95? Yeah, my bad. It was 95. Yeah, 95. So for $20 more, you're getting 2 gigs down and 1 gig up guaranteed. So now Files is going into the territory of ultra wideband speeds because 2 gigs down and 1 gig up, yeah, that's up there with millimeter wave. That is definitely up there with ultra wideband, you know. And their new 5G plan is awesome. You pay $50 and that includes your first month and the router, and on top of that you get 2 months extra. You're getting 3 months of free service. You can't beat that, guys. You cannot beat that. You can't beat that with a stick. And I don't know why people are coming in and leaving. I know you know how to read, because I got to be brutally honest. You know how to read. It says, let's talk mobile and tech total. So why would I say total? Talking about Total Wireless. That's just common sense. That's just like if I put Metro or I put Boost instead of Boost Mobile. Hello, it's common sense. So Total is doing big things, man. Verizon is doing hella big things with Total. You get what I'm saying? Like the deals that are going on and everything else is just crazy. $95 a month for 2 gigs down and 1 gig up. $75 a month for 1 gig down and 840 up guaranteed, what I got. And then 200 megs for $50 guaranteed. 200 megs up, 200, simultaneously. 200 megs down, 200 megs up. And then for 60, I think it was like, $60, you get 300 over 300. It was 400 over 400. So with you being a total customer, you get hella deals. And I'm talking about hella deals, guys. Hella deals. So I don't understand. It's just crazy. Crazy. The deals are so good that it makes me not want to let my Total line get canceled completely. Well, you guys know I reactivated it, because they gave me 90 days. So this month I already made a year. I got Total September 11th of 2024. We're on September 27th. So for more than a year, I have had Total, and it's been a great experience. I can't say it's been a bad experience, because if not, I would have just let it go to shits. And the fact, like I said, I'm sorry for cursing, but the fact is that it is crazy the deals you get on Files by being a freaking total customer. It's just crazy. You get great deals by being a total customer on Files, on Verizon Files. So I think that Verizon, with the moves that they're making, and I see as Verizon making Total a premium prepaid option. And if you really think about it, it is a premium prepaid option. I mean, you get Disney Plus with no ads. I never activated it. I had it for a whole year. I never took advantage of that. I'm gonna activate it so Juju, my youngest daughter, can use it. So she can have Disney and she can watch Disney with her little brothers at the house, at their house. So I'm gonna activate it for that. And you get internet that does not slow down. Do they need to improve the hotspot from 5 megs to 10 megs? Yes, they do definitely do that. They definitely need to do that. Guarantee at least 10 megs. It is a $65 plan with 60 with auto pay. So, the plan and the features they're adding, Verizon adding to Total, are out of this world, guys. They are definitely out of this world. And I really had to talk about this because this is something that somebody else could be taking advantage of. I'm that serious. Somebody could be like, well, I don't get files at my house because it might be too expensive. But now with this live stream that I'm doing, that if you become a Total Wireless customer, and in order to get them deals on files, get $75 for 1 gig, you either got to have the $50 plan or the 60. Well, the 55, 50 with auto pay, which is the 5G unlimited plan, or the 5G unlimited plus, which is the one that I got. And if you port in your number, you're only going to pay $25 a month on the 5G with auto pay. You're going to pay $25 a month for 5 years. If you don't do auto pay, it's 30. It's just like the 5G plus plan is $65 and 60 with auto pay. So if you don't pay auto pay, you'll pay 35 instead of 30. So either way is a win-win situation. You're getting a 5-year guarantee on these plans, and it's a killer deal, guys. It is a freaking killer deal. I have a question for you, Alex. Can you talk about T-Mobile fiber? ? If you're not, it's not area. I understand why you're not talking about it. That's also my question. Yeah. To answer that, TJ, why I don't talk about T-Mobile fiber, because it's not in my area. It's really not. All I can get in my area is the T-Mobile home internet, which I don't want that. I don't want T-Mobile home internet, the 5G home internet. I don't want it. If they had fiber in my area, then yes, I would be willing to try T-Mobile fiber to see how it competes with Verizon Files. But due to the fact that in my area, T-Mobile, TJ, does not have the fiber, that's why you don't see me speaking on it. That's why I don't speak on it. Do I comment when Sneed makes strides, and gets more information, and I say that's what's up, that's good. But I don't talk about it on my channel because I can't use it. It's just like millimeter wave. Back in the day when Sneed been using millimeter wave, and Carlos as Tech, my brother from another mother, and also Sneed Mobile Tech, my brother from another mother, when they were using it, I didn't really care for it because I didn't have it here. So I would always, when I would talk to them, off of YouTube, whether it was on the phone or whatever the case may be, I would tell Carlos and Sneed, I'm like, guys, I don't really care about it because I can't experience what you guys are experiencing. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't really talk about T-Mobile fiber, because it's not available in my area. So hopefully in 2026, 2027, maybe it'll be, bro. Maybe before 2030, it'll be here and I can test it out and I'll talk about it. But I don't really like talking about stuff that I don't have no way of testing it. Is it a great investment for T-Mobile to invest in fiber? Yes. But I don't really talk about it on my channel, the T-Mobile fiber, because it's not in my area. That's just like Google. Google's had fiber for years. But they never brung it to the East Coast. I don't know nowhere in the East Coast that has Google fiber. I know Arizona, over there in the Midwest, and in the West Coast, yeah, I heard that people got Google fiber. But in the East Coast, I haven't heard nobody in Florida, Georgia, none of these states say, yo, I got Google fiber. So that's why I don't talk about those two. I talk about the fiber that's available where in the East Coast, like the Optimum fiber, Spectrum fiber. Spectrum is in certain parts. They're in upstate New York. I heard that they're northern New Jersey, like next to Hoboken and all that. They got they got What I just said. Fuck. They got Optimum. That's what I'm trying to say. So, and and we got multiple cables, providers that have fiber in the East Coast. So I like to stick to the ones that actually provide service. T-Mobile doesn't provide service over here yet, so I can't really speak on T-Mobile. And the bad thing is that Comcast has a chokehold on monopoly. Comcast is the definition of monopoly. You know how they say we shouldn't let these carriers merge with other carriers because it creates monopoly. Comcast is a monopoly. Disney's a monopoly. You don't hear nobody going against them when they want to merge with other companies. And then they just want to scout your eyes out with their prices. So it's crazy, guys. It's really, really crazy. But like I said, man, I love what Verizon is doing with how you call that? What Verizon is doing with Total. I think is a great thing there. A great discount relationship that they're building with both carriers. And Total to me is a great option. But right now, my Total is upstairs. Cricket is upstairs. Visible's upstairs. My 14 Pros are upstairs because I don't feel like carrying 5 phones around. I really don't. I really truly don't. So the only phones that I'm carrying around is my 15 Pro, 16 Pro, and 17 Pro. And I said that. I said as soon as I get my 17 Pro, one of my four, well, I said one, but four, both of my, other phones, my 14 Pros are upstairs. You know what I'm saying? So the iPhone 17 Pro is definitely a game changer. I will say that. Does it work way better with T-Mobile? Look, they're saying, a lot of people are saying that the iPhone 17 lineup is having problems with multiple carriers. Let me tell you something. I pre-ordered my phone and I'm not having no types of issue on T-Mobile Business, on Verizon Business. When I put Visible on it, if I put Cricket on it, if I put Metro on it, I haven't had no issues whatsoever with no drop calls. My phone always has service. My internet is way faster with freaking Verizon, as you guys seen the video evidence, and is way faster with T-Mobile. I was getting freaking 1,700 down with T-Mobile the other day at 2:00 in the morning. I was getting 1,700 down and 170 up. 170 up. So yeah, the iPhone 17 Pro is a major upgrade from the 15 and 16 Pro. Is a lot of things. It has the cooling system, of course. It has the full frame aluminum frame. We all know that aluminum is not the strongest metal. So how can you and when that's the thing though. When the fudge has Apple or Samsung said our phones are break proof or dent proof? Never. They said they are water resistant to a certain amount of depth and for a certain amount of minutes. No company ever, Samsung, Motorola, unless they make a rugged phone, because Samsung does have some rugged phones that T-Mobile offers for business and even for postpaid that are rugged. It's a Samsung. I forgot what it was. I made the videos on here. Look it up. I made it last year. That phone is shock proof and dent proof. Well, shock proof. So there you go. When a phone is shock proof, that means if it drops, it's not supposed to have any type of dents in it because it's shock proof, just like an iPhone case, a Samsung case, or a phone case that's for your particular Android or Apple phone that says it provides shock absorbent. So Samsung and Apple have never made the bold claims. So I don't know why people are using phones that start at 256 freaking gigs and you want to sit there and rock it without a case, man. You think you balling. That's all I gotta say. You must think I don't know. I think you think you're LeBron James or LeBron James Bronny or Bryson, or I think you're part of the James family that you think you could afford to rock a phone without a case. Because most of the people that are rocking these phones without a case are idiots. You know why? Because they don't have the insurance from the cell phone company and they don't have the insurance from Apple, the Apple theft and stolen. And you're going to say, Alex, how are you going to make them bold claims without knowing? Because yes, the fuck I do know. These people are idiots from TikTok. These people are being made fun of by other TikTokers. Guys, remember the guy that did the drop test on the screen on the $2,000 1 TB iPhone 17 Pro Max in orange? Did you guys know he did not have insurance from either T-Mobile or Apple? What a freaking idiot. So that's how I know. So you want to do dumb shit and do drop tests and do this and do that to your 17 Pro, but you don't even have insurance. So I don't even want to talk about idiotic people like that. That's them. I would tell it's like a Juice Shock watch. Oh yeah, like a G-Shock watch. Yeah, you're right about that, TJ. Bro, that watch are built. Yeah. I had a lot of G-Shock watches, bro. You're right about that. G-Shock watches. And even my Ultra. This thing is built like a tank. This thing I done banged it against tables. I banged it against doorknobs, and it hasn't broke on me yet. And I had it for almost 3 years. I bought this watch in May of 2023. No, 2022, my bad. May of 2022. This watch is already 3 years old. Imagine we're on the third generation. It's 3 years old already. And I got it when it first came out. And I haven't had no issues. I have not even went to the Apple store once for my Apple Watch Ultra. You guys haven't heard me say, yo, I got to go to the Apple store for my Apple. Not even once. You know what I'm saying? So I got the T-Mobile business insurance. I pay $18 a month for the insurance for my Apple Watch Ultra. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, please, man, I feel like I have to make a warning because it's like monkey see, monkey do, idiot die. You know, like, why would you want to copy a trend that other people are doing, like dropping your hard-earned, hard-invested phone and dropping it on the floor and letting it break? I don't even do that, guys. I don't even do that. And you know how much I get paid at Mickey D's? Because basically I got my gun. I'm getting $28.50 an hour. An hour. That's why I don't stress no more on YouTube. If I gain more subscribers, if whatever the case, I don't care no more. To be completely honest, I really don't care. Because what I'm making my money on is my career, my security officer career. It's not YouTube. YouTube is like a side gig for me. You get what I'm saying? I'm getting $28.50 an hour to just stand there and make sure nobody goes over the counter, diffuse arguments between customers and employees, and that's part of my job. And I get paid $28.50 an hour for that. So just know that whatever I buy, you know, if I decide to buy a MacBook Pro, if I decide to go all out and buy more things, you already know is because I'm getting paid. It has nothing to do with YouTube. If I want to buy more Jordan sneakers, whatever the hell I want to buy, I'm making $28.50 an hour, and that's my money. That's not YouTube money. That's called security officer money. That's what it's called. So never let nobody lie to you and say, oh, security officers is not a career. Yeah, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Because at the club, when I went to the club to work the club, I was getting $40 an hour because it's more dangerous as a club. And I was getting paid $40 an hour. So don't let nobody lie to you and tell you, no, man, that's not. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're not working in this field, so they just need to shut up. But back to tech, like I was saying, I want to pay off my speakers, to be completely honest, because my bill now, because of the 1 TB iPhone 17 Pro, my T-Mobile business bill is $227.25 because my daughter's 15 Pro Max is still there. Then I also got the what is it called? The 2 speakers, the JBL Charge 6 and the Beats, the new Beats pill. So that's another like $50 in his own on the bill. So that's why I didn't get the watch. So I'm gonna get the watch and the AirPods at the same time. As soon as I'm done paying off these 2 things, I could afford to do that. You know, because I still got bills. Just because my pay went increased from $15 an hour at a stupid bar to $28.50 at a restaurant doesn't mean that I don't have bills. No, things got to that job I done paid off one of my credit cards. Well, I only owe, what is it, $217 on my card, and I owed around 7 grand. So because of this job, it went down from 7 grand to 213. No, 217. So thank God that. ¿Qué pasó? Estoy haciendo un vivo. Oh, okay. Well, I'm doing a live stream right now. Talk to you later. Está bien. Bye. Love you. Love you too much. So, you know, it's crazy. It is definitely crazy, guys. You know, so I keep cases on my iPhones. You guys seen it. That's why I made the video. It wasn't a sarcasm. I was just making the people realize to put a case on it. Everybody that's been talking crap about the Scratchgate situation and all that BS, I have commented on plenty. I think it was like over 75 different YouTubers that are smaller than me, because they are not bigger than me. They don't have 50,000. They might have 10, 15, 25, 30, 40,000 subs. And I was telling them, well, you're an idiot if you don't have a case on your iPhone 17 Pro. You are an idiot, because you're not going to sit here and tell me you make more money than me when you got less subscribers than I do and you get less views than I do. So you're not going to sit here and tell me you're balling. The only people I wouldn't tell what to do with their phones is KBHD, Unbox Therapy, John Prosser from Page Tech, and all these people that are making millions on here every year, because they could afford to have their phone break and have one the same day. So those type of people, I don't need to say shit to them, because they got the money. But then other people that are not that big and not making all that money, they want to act like they're making all that money. So I'm glad the idiot, like I said, that was here, that I went off on him last time because of the iPhone 17 Pro, that he did the drop test and he broke it and he didn't have insurance, and he said he's going to have to pay another $2,250 in the state of New York with the taxes. I said, that's what you get for being a fucking idiot. That's not me trolling, it's being the truth. It is the truth. And does he feel stupid? Yeah. He seen my video. Not dumb. But he ain't had nothing to say, because he was like, oh shit, he got all those phones and they all got cases. Yeah, I need to shut the fuck up. I'm not even going to comment on his video, because it's true, guys. Like, come on. Your parents or you spend $2,000 on a phone and you're going to rock it without a case because it has is a unibody aluminum. Like, that's just dumb, man. It's just dumb. It makes no damn sense to me. It's like me talking about my car out to a road. Well, and yeah, of course. That's right. You're right about that, TJ. That's like me buying a brand new car. I get one of my favorite cars. Let's say I have my license, because that's what I'm working on now, get my driver's license back. Let's say I have my driver's license and I'm making good money right now at my job. I decide to buy a car, and I'm gonna take my brand new Honda Civic or Accord off road and just mess up the shocks and jump through mud trails and do all this dumb shit. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Same shit. Yeah, a phone is way cheaper than a car, but it's still the same shit. I mean, like I said, unless you got it like that. Like I said, you got it like that, do whatever the hell you want to do. Your parents make a 5-figure salary every year, and they don't care what you do with your phone, and you want to throw it up in the air, like I said before, 50 feet in the air and see if it'll break, then go ahead. I mean, look at the jackass. Look at the video here. He climbed up to the top of the steps of his apartment building that has, like, I don't know, maybe 100 floors, and dropped the phone for like 100 feet on all the way down to the ground. And he was expecting the 17 Pro to survive when it smacked all the railings, because he's on the steps. You know, there's the emergency steps in case the elevator doesn't work. So he threw it right down the middle of, and the iPhone 17 Pro banked all the freaking metal things, and it broke. It shattered. I mean, it was in pieces. The back glass wasn't there. The front glass wasn't there. It was just the metal sandwich, the aluminum sandwich. And then the iPhone 16 Pro um, made it to like this from the 100th floor and made it to like let me see, the 70th floor, and the screen was it was all the glass was all broken up. But it break apart? No, it was just cracked up. You know, but you still keep a case on it, man. It's that the point is, you know, and that guy, I don't know what the hell's wrong with him. I mean, to be honest, if he thinks that people are going to subscribe to his channel because he did that, because the thing is, he did this, and the guy only has, I think it was 350 subscribers. So with 350 subscribers, you're going to do a drop test from 100 feet on 2 iPhones. He had a 1 terabyte 16 Pro and a 1 terabyte iPhone 17 Pro. So it's just crazy. That's like $2,000 and something on phones that you broke to, I guess, go viral. And the sad thing is the video only has like 500 views. So you broke 2 phones that were over $2,000 and you're not getting shit out of it because you don't even meet the requirements to be monetized. So I think that's another thing that I need to talk about in this video, guys. Listen to me clearly, because you don't do your research. Most of you guys that are transitioning over, you guys are from TikTok. On TikTok, it's easier to get paid because all you need is 5,000 subscribers, and that's it. That's it. 5,000 followers is what I'm trying to say. And that's it. And you get monetized. On YouTube, you need 1,000 subs, 4,000 watch hours, and your oldest video is got to be at least 1 year old. Okay? If your video is not more than 1 year old, you are not going to meet the requirements of monetization. And what I mean by monetization is what I got. I could get super chats. I could get super stickers. You see commercials on this live stream. You see commercials on my videos. That's monetization. So it made no sense with you, which I'm not going to say your name because then you're going to say I'm bullying you. But you know who you are, with 350 freaking subscribers and not qualified for monetization, broke 2 expensive phones, a 1 terabyte 16 Pro and a 17 Pro, to prove what point, bro? What was the whole point of that? I got way more subscribers than you, and I wouldn't do that shit. I got freaking 50,050 subscribers more than you, and I would not do that. And I would not sit here and drop test any one of my damn iPhones. So you guys need to stop the idiot train and thinking that, you know, people are going to love that. People are in the comment section, in his comment section, calling him effing idiot. Oh, bro, you're so dumb. You're not even a big YouTuber. You only have 350 subs, and you threw these phones from 100 feet. You're an idiot. And he didn't even know what to comment back. Because it's just idiotic, man. Some TikTokers are trying too hard on YouTube to try to, you know what you could do? If you're a TikToker transitioning to YouTube, go live on your TikTok and say, subscribe to my new channel, guys. I dropped the link in my bio. Please support me like you support me here, okay? And they do, because Mr. Shoe Doc, his channel, he only had like 300 subs on his YouTube channel. So soon as he started doing live stream on TikTok, which I follow him on TikTok and I love his live streams, and he says subscribe to my YouTube channel, right now he's like at 7.5 million in like a year period from only 350 subs. 7.5 million. And that's what you need to do. You can't just think that you could do the same dumb shit you do on TikTok and think you're going to be popular on YouTube. It doesn't work like that. I noticed that a lot of you guys are getting your fan base over here. Because I had a guy just saying dumb shit earlier and getting so many super chats. It was not even funny. I was like, oh my God, this dude is just saying dumb shit. He was just screaming at the camera and I don't know, just blabbing off some shit that didn't make no sense to me. and the guy was getting $15 super chat, $20 super chat, $30 super chat, $50 super chat. And these were people from TikTok that followed them over. And it's just crazy, man. I mean, at the same time, to be honest, it's crazy and sad that, people waste their hard earned money on somebody just blabbing off some dumb shit. Because you're not even getting any type of knowledge. I understand the other ones that transition from TikTok that are, like health instructors. They lift weights. They tell you don't use steroids. Use this protein shake that has no steroids. That's fine. And you want to super chat him because he's helping you lose weight and giving you knowledge on how to stay in shape and what exercise you should do if you're a beginner. Don't rush and try to lift these weights up because you're going to hurt your back or your muscles or your arms or sprain your arm. That's fine, man. That's completely fine. But these other people that are just saying just the weirdest shit and doing and just sleeping, like this one girl, she was freaking sleeping here on YouTube and she was getting $75 super chats, 80 super chats, and people were just hearing her snore. And it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. It's crazy, guys. And that's exactly why I stopped trying to be a full-time YouTuber, to be completely honest. Before I was trying to do it, so that's why I didn't care about my security license. I didn't care about none of that. But when I seen that I was too raw and too uncut for most people, and I speak my mind, and that's what a lot of people don't like, that's when I said, I need to get my SORA. I need to get my security officer license. I need to do what the fudge I need to do to make more money because I'm not going nowhere on YouTube. I'm not that popular. And that's the reason why I'm not that popular is because I'm not going to be fake. You know what I'm saying? I choose not to be fake. I'm not saying a lot of people are fake because a lot of people are not fake, but it's just, you know, some people accept you and some people don't. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. I don't know. That's just the way the game flows on YouTube. As long as I make enough money on YouTube to pay Metro and pay Cricket and pay Total, I'll be Gucci. I will definitely be Gucci. I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even thinking about YouTube as a full time gig because I'll be homeless if I was to see it that way. Because people dislike people that are real. People want to hear people that just oblige to everybody and thinks the same way as everybody else. And you got the motherfucking wrong one if you think I'm like that. So that's why I'm not popular. And I will tell you that disabling that you to pay get a new one. It's gonna be like, yeah, you're right about that, TJ. Right about that, broski. So guys, that's why I like the people that bond with me. Do I curse sometimes? Yeah, I'm an adult. I'm 43, not a teenager. If a teenager was on here cursing, then people could be like, "Oh yeah, man," but I'm a grown motherfucking man. I'm a grandfather at 43 years old. You feel me? So, grown ups do grown up things. You feel me? I'm not a child. There's no reason why somebody should be like, "Well, I'm leaving Alex's live stream because he's cursing." No, I'm a fucking adult, not a little kid. What the hell do you see on my channel that says this is a kids channel? This is not a motherfucking kids channel. This is a grown ups channel. You know what I'm saying? And more cursing that your kids are gonna hear out in the world ain't shit compared to the profanity that comes out my mouth or anybody else's mouth for that matter. So it's just crazy, guys. But like I said, I'll keep pushing out this content for you guys. But you guys gotta. What I'm trying to say is, you guys gotta cope with me in a way, because like I said, my security officer's job is more important than YouTube. I gotta be brutally honest with you guys. I'm not ever gonna make enough money to replace my job, and that is a fact. Because, like I said, in order for me, if I would listen, there's people that are monetized right now that got like 5,000 subs or making more money than me because they're catering to everybody. You know what I'm saying? They're catering to everybody. Meaning, Like recently, this dude just started his YouTube channel, right? Just started it because I was looking at date. You know how you can see the date the person started the channel when you go into it. And I was like, this mother flower already got 75,000 subs, and he's not even qualified to get monetized. His oldest video is 2 months old. And why did he get that many subscribers? Because he's Democrat. He was talking bad about Charlie on his live stream. He was talking bad about Donald Trump on his live stream. Um, and just saying, spewing some dumb shit that he should be banned off of YouTube. Because one thing is freedom of speech and another thing is hate speech. And what he was saying was hate speech. But since I didn't really want to report his live stream for hate speech, I just let it be. I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm blocking this dude. I told YouTube not to recommend his live streams to me anymore, not to put him in my algorithm. Get the hell out of here. And that's what I'm talking about. Being, you got to be like that. You're like that, you're successful. Look at that, 75,000 subscribers in 2 months because all he does is talk bad about Donald Trump. But this is the world we're living in, guys. The people that are actually teaching you something, you're learning what speech you can get, who's the better carrier, who has better customer care. Fuck them guys. Fuck them guys. How much knowledge don't you learn from Sneed? And having you learn from Carlos and Ricky and so forth, and we don't even get that many, that amount of subscribers in 2 months. It's like, it's crazy. People want to hear about politics on YouTube. People want to hear somebody talking shit about Republicans on YouTube. And, you know, maybe if I would have done that and started talking shit about Joe Biden when he was the president, Kamala Harris, then I don't know. Maybe I would have more people watching me. I don't know. Or have people hating on me, reporting my life. It could have went either way, is what I'm trying to say. I'm just spewing real facts, guys. I know this shit has nothing to do with tech, but it's true. You feel me? All you gotta do is go to YouTube live streams on mobile, and you'll see a whole bunch of retards talking bad about Donald Trump and all this other shit. That Charlie got what he deserved and all this shit, and people applauding them, sending them super chats. It's just disgusting. You know what I'm saying? It's just disgusting. And I hope that YouTube one day starts flagging people like that. Because, like I said, that's not freedom of speech. That's hate speech. When you're saying that you're happy that somebody died because they were Republican and because they had a different opinion than yours, then you shouldn't be on YouTube. You shouldn't be allowed on social media at all, to be completely honest. Because that's just hate speech. That's not freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is not saying, I'm happy this motherfucker died. That's not freedom of speech. That's hate speech. Freedom of speech is when you're talking respectful about somebody, like I did. When I said I disliked Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and the whole administration and what they did to us for the last 4 years. That's freedom of speech. I never said, well, I hope they got hit by a bus or a train or I hope they die, because that's hate speech. You get what I'm saying? So it's just crazy, man. I've been seeing a lot of politicking going on lately on YouTube. But yeah, man, other than that, like I said, the total thing, don't want to get too much into YouTube politics because that's what I call it, YouTube politics. The total discount on files is a great discount you're going to get for being a total customer. Do I like that now? It says total instead of TFW. Hell the fuck yeah. Does Metro have to do the same shit and change the name to T-Mobile? Hell the fuck yes. And it looks cleaner, it looks better, and it's just an overall better experience. And Metro on the 15 Pro has been out of this world. I added the fast.com. I mean, sorry, I added the HD streaming like I showed you guys on the video, and now I get up to 1.6 gigs down on fast.com with Metro. I love it. I tweeted it out and I put it on Twitter. You know what I'm saying, guys? So like I said, man, I don't try to make nobody uncomfortable with my live streams, guys. It's that you gotta understand I'm an adult. I'm not a kid. So you can't look at me as a kid. I understand. Look, at work, I get it all the time. You look like a college student. No, I'm a grandfather. You know what I'm saying? I'm a grown man. I'm not a little kid. So there shouldn't be an issue with me being a Republican or me talking about anything. It shouldn't be uncomfortable for nobody because if these young boys, the one that was talking bad about Donald Trump and was saying that Charlie got what he deserved, they asked him his comment section and he was 19 and he has 750 people watching that fucking live stream. You feel me? People here get butt hurt and I only have like 15 people. The guy's talking about that he's happy that Charlie died and he has 750 people watching him. So it's just crazy, man. You people nowadays, I see that you guys like to pick and choose who can say who what, and shit doesn't fly that way, man. Shit doesn't fly that way. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. You see, I mean, you guys seen Jimmy Kimmel lying. I mean, crying. I said lying, crying on the stage because he thought he lost his career. Then he talks bad about Donald Trump. Then he said, "Oh, look at what Donald Trump said about me." Yeah, look at all the shit you talked about Donald Trump, saying that he's a radical right winger. Like it's just crazy. That's the funny shit about Democrats, though. They like pushing it out, but I mean they like dishing it out, but when you give it back to them, it doesn't feel good. Oh man, you hurt my feelings. I don't give a fuck about your feelings. You don't give a fuck about mine, and that's just fact, guys. That is the truth. Jimmy Kimmel cried because they told him to cry. He's a liar. He don't feel bad. He cried because what did he say in that video? He said, "Oh yeah, the person that murdered Charlie was a crazy Republican." No, he was actually a crazy Democrat. He was not a crazy Republican. He was a crazy Democrat. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. You can't just make outlandish uh freaking accusations against somebody without knowing. And I've been watching a lot of videos, man, a lot of videos surrounding that case, and it shows that he was actually shot from the right. And there's actually a video where it shows somebody on top of the roof not too far from him. So this is all set up by Democrats, man. And it's not a conspiracy theory, it's facts. Charlie got shot from the right. They blamed that young boy, because he was talking about homosexuality and how the majority of the mass shooters have been transgender, and that's when he gets shot in the neck. You know what I'm saying? So the shot came from the right. The shot came from the right. It pushes his shirt up, and it hit him right in his artery vein in his neck, and it was shot from closer. It was not from 100 feet. So the FBI really is hiding something, and I think Donald Trump needs to investigate the FBI, especially the head of the FBI, that dude that looks Indian. I don't give a fuck about his name. He needs to be investigated because they said that he was getting a lot of pushback from people in high places because of how he was talking. But if you look at other videos of Charlie stuck up for homosexuality because when when this dude that was saying he was a Republican went off on Charlie because he said, why in your last debate, you had a guy that his name is Mega, like which what people like to call us Republicans, Mega supporters. The transgender guy, of course, he's Republican. His name is Mega. That's what he wants people to call him. And the guy came up and said that, and he was like, "So why did you get that homosexual? These homosexuals are now right. They shouldn't be allowed in these debates." And da da da. He was like, "Hold on, let me stop you there. Somebody's sexual preference and any of that has nothing to do with me. If they want to debate something, they can debate something, and I'll answer them because it's true. And the Bible says that we have to love everybody, whether they're homosexual or not homosexual, whether they're straight or gay. It doesn't matter. You're supposed to love everyone. And a true Christian is not going to sit here and push a homosexual way. That's why I don't push them away. I'm serious. Like I say, God bless you. You know, even at my job, when I see them dressed like dudes, the women, these young girls wearing the same boxers I got on because they be sagging and you can see their boxers, and I'm like, yo, come on, man, put up them pants, man. Jesus Christ, it just infuriates me because young boys do the same thing. But the crazy part is that these young boys that come into McDonald's don't even sag like that. It's the lesbians that sag. So I'm like, what the fudge? The dude stop doing it, and you're a female that wants to be a dude, and you're doing it, and it's just crazy. And I just say, God bless them. Like I said, man, I don't have no malice towards nobody. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, Charlie with saying that most of the mass shooters, is, according to the statistics, were transgender men. It's not hate speech. It's not saying that he's homophobic. It's facts. You know what I'm saying? If they do a study and they find out that most of the people that are shooting up schools and doing these mass shootings are transgender because they're locked up and they killed themselves and they left a manifesto saying, oh yeah, I wanted to be a woman, I was born in the wrong body, and there goes proof right there, then how are you gonna discredit that? You know what I'm saying? It's not Charlie saying that, it's what the statistics are saying of the study that they have done, that most of the mass shooters are transgender. You know, and people get mad because I have arguments like this at the bar when I used to work at the bar. But do I need to work at bars no more, guys? No, that's why I'm doing this live stream right now. Because making 28.50 an hour, I don't need to work at a bar no more. I'm not making no measly fucking $15. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what's that? 28.50 minus 15. I can't do the math right now. 28.50 minus 15. I'm making 13.50 more an hour. So yeah, I don't need to do bars anymore. Thanks God. But I told my old boss, if you still need me somewhere, I'll still go to make an extra buck, but I'm not doing it all the time. So back to what I was saying, you know, he was just spewing facts, and that's what people hated. When somebody takes you out your comfort zone, you're always going to be upset. You get what I'm saying? Like people that follow the Quran. I got a lot of friends that are Muslim, but have they read the Quran correctly? No. They don't know that Muhammad was a mass killer. He had people beheaded who said that he was worthless and he was a liar. You get what I'm saying? Like this guy actually beheaded people that were against him and called him a liar and that he was not Jesus Christ, which he's not. You know, Muhammad died and then rise in 3 days. You know, Jesus did. Jesus had plenty of people as witness that he was talking to them, and he rose from the grave. So there's no disputing that. There's no, even scientists have said that they can't disprove that God never existed and God never um, rose from the dead in 3 days. And that's what most people basically pledge their allegiance to. That's who you believe, the scientists. And they even said it. And scientists recently in where Jesus died at, they've found blood there that belongs to Jesus from where the nails went through his hands. And the blood is just there like if it was yesterday. And that happened, I don't know, maybe 2,000 years ago. So it's just crazy, guys. I mean, Christianity is different. But you know what's the most important part here that Democrats need to understand? If it would have been, God forbid, somebody in the Democratic Party that would have got assassinated the way that Charlie did because of his beliefs, there would have been looting. There would have been broken cop cars here in Jersey like last time. They would have been set on fire. It would have been a whole chaos. But yet Republicans, what Republicans did? Nothing. No chaos. Exposed people that were, called people's jobs and got them fired. But that's not blowing people's cars up or, looting. They actually found the personal information of the people that were making fun of Charlie. So for these young kids that are making fun of Charlie, I would advise you to refrain from your stupidity because you could lose your job and actually get banned from your college for talking bad about Charlie, because that's not freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is you feeling bad for somebody. You know what? I didn't have the same how you call that, beliefs in God that he does when it comes to religion. And I'm a Democrat, and I did not believe in some of the things he said. I could disagree, but he was still a human being, and I genuinely feel bad for the man, like a lot of big Democrat, actors and artists said. Not like all these other people that were just throwing parties and happy. It's just disgusting. You're not. What are you? I don't even think you're a Democrat. You're out of this world. I wouldn't even say an alien, because if aliens do exist, which I believe they don't, but that's a disrespect to the aliens. You're like from a whole different world at this point when you're sitting here celebrating somebody's death and saying they got what they deserved and all that shit. That's just crazy. It's just facts. And people don't like hearing the truth. And that's the truth. If it would have been a Democratic person that was big as Charlie and would have got murdered the way Charlie got murdered, we would have had total chaos in the streets. Total chaos. Lock down the Walmarts, put gauges in the front, block people from coming in. They're looting, they're taking everything, they're breaking everything, breaking into local businesses, doing just a whole bunch of dumb shit. Like when the George Floyd situation happened. Who the hell was George Floyd? He wasn't a law-abiding citizen. He was a criminal. He was a criminal that died for resisting arrest. And he didn't even die because the officer had his foot on his neck. He died because he overdosed. He was high as hell. He was high as hell trying to use fake money to buy at a store. And that's a fact. That is a fact. So you can't sit here and just start wilding, man. It's just crazy, man. I'm telling you. Me having ancestors that were slaves in Puerto Rico to Spaniards, you don't see me talking bad about Spaniards the way some people talk some black people talk about white people. You don't see me doing that shit. You don't see me spewing hate speech nowhere. That's the past. I don't live in the fucking past. That's the difference between a Republican and a Democrat. A Democrat stays stuck on the past. Well, my ancestors went through this, and okay, I feel bad. I understand. My ancestors went through the same shit with the Spaniards, but am I still going to beat a dead dog? No, I'm going to let it go. Okay? Let it go. The white people that put your ancestors and took them as slaves were all Democrats. That's how dumb people are. I'm serious. They don't even do their fucking research. The slave owners were Democrats. And who freed the slaves? A Republican president. A Republican president. George Washington, right? What's his name? Yeah, George Washington. George Washington, or let me Google it because I forget. They sounded like George Washington, or I forget. I think it's George Washington, but I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna Google it right now. Let's go to Google. Google. Which was the Republican president that freed the slaves? Which was the Republican president that released the slaves? Republican. Hold on. Oh, Abraham Lincoln. Sorry, Abraham Lincoln. The first Republican president to free the slaves was Abraham Lincoln. Mr. Lincoln. He was not Democrat. And I got another video that says that the first president to be in office, well, not the first president, but in the last decade or so, that has not, his ancestor has not owned slaves, is Donald Trump. Because even Mr. Obama ancestors own slaves. Joe Biden ancestors own slaves. So it's just crazy, man. Like, people really need to do your research, man. Look it up on YouTube. I don't have to argue with no Democrat on here because you'll feel stupid when you see the video and the proof and the facts. Because I talk facts. I don't talk on my ass. I talk facts. So it's just crazy how people want to live in the past, but yet the side that you're supporting The liberal side is the side that had your ancestors picking cotton and whooping them and calling them a different name. So that's just beyond me. That's just I gotta laugh because it's funny. Because you don't do it. Knowledge is key, man. Come over to the Republican side, man. Knowledge is key. You see that none of the brothers and sisters that are Republican are enslaved in their mind. The Democrat side is enslaved in their mind because the black brothers and sisters on the Republican side are not enslaved in their mind. They say that white privilege does not exist, and it's true, because if white privilege did exist, then we wouldn't have LeBron James, a billionaire. We wouldn't have who else? Dr. Dre, a billionaire. We wouldn't have who else? Who else? Well, Puff Daddy was a billionaire until he did all this crazy shit, but he was another one. And who else? Beyonce and Jay-Z, billionaires. Who else? Even Shaq is a billionaire. So yeah, so the last time I checked, Beyonce, Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Dr. Dre are all black. Right? The last time I checked, they were black. So if white privilege really existed, then they wouldn't be billionaires with a fucking B. Okay? So that deads the whole conversation of white privilege. I want to hear that shit. You know what's privilege? Having money. So stop calling it white. Money doesn't have a gender, doesn't have a race. Money is money. You got money, money talks, bullshit walks. Okay? Money talks, bullshit walks. So I don't want to hear that shit. No such thing as white privilege. It's called having money. And just because you don't have money, you want to get mad and say, oh no, it's white privilege. No, you're not working hard enough. You're still not in that stupid mentality. I'm not working for a white person because I'm going to feel enslaved. That's fucking dumb as hell. Work enough to get your own business, make your own money. If these immigrants that are not even here legally are not even in that freaking mentality, they're sitting here and saying, I'm going to collect these paychecks and start my own business. And they did. How many illegal immigrants are not owner of construction businesses? Some of them even got car dealerships, landscaping companies, architectural companies, and all of the above. They're following the American dream to the fullest. But yet people that are born here, just don't give a fuck. Because you don't. You can't tell me a black person can't own a construction company or a fucking landscaping company when it make you wealthy. It makes you wealthy owning those type of companies. It's because you never put the effort to want to do it. I'm one of them. I didn't put effort to want to do it. So why are you going to sit here and knock somebody that came from a whole nother motherfucking country, came over here and did something that you can do with no issues, and now they got to go back home? You see what I'm saying? I like opening eyes, okay? I like opening eyes because you guys, I never followed the awoke movement because the awoke movement from the Democrats is a whole different awoke movement than what I'm talking about. Being awoke is knowing the truth from fiction. The awoke movement that the Democrats wanted was, like I said, my daughter in, in 5th grade, right? Yeah, in 4th grade, they were teaching her about homosexuality. And I did not agree with that. Not at all. When she's 18, she wants to, ask questions, that's fine. But my daughter at 9 years old should not be learning about homosexuality. And that's their woke. Having homosexuality classes in schools, having homosexuality in our kids' cartoons and Disney cartoons, and Netflix has a whole bunch of homosexuality too. I mean, every show, whether it's Spanish or English, either has a lesbian couple or a two-dude couple. That's the awoke that Democrats is talking about. accepting everything that's against God's eyes, accepting everything that's wrong and making it normal. Before it wasn't normal. Now we've been so desensitized, like a lot of people say, because it's true. We've been so desensitized from seeing so much murder and all this stuff that we're just numb to it. Well, that's nothing new. You know what I'm saying? That is nothing new. And just be happy you're in the United States, guys, because in other countries they'll kill you for being homosexual. India, you get stoned to death. In some parts of Iraq, they'll cut your head off for being homosexual. So be happy that you're in the great USA where you're free to be whatever you want to be. Okay? Because you guys been complaining so much on the left. All these Democrats complaining about this, complaining about that. Okay. Oh. You know, complaining about this and complaining about that. But you got the freedom to be whoever you want to be. Look at the Olympics. That country where the Olympics were held at. What they said, they did not want no homosexuals there. What did the homosexuals do? Go off, go crazy, and okay, that's their country. That's not the United States. Each country has their own law, their own guidelines, their own policies. So if they don't want homosexuals in their country, then they don't want homosexuals in their country. End of story. It's not the end of the world because you can't go somewhere. What the hell are you talking about? See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what pisses me off about homosexuality. It really pisses me off because you think you're entitled. You really do. You think that because some people don't want to accept the fact that you're homosexual is the same thing as somebody not affecting the fact that I'm fucking Hispanic and I'm dark-skinned, and some people say I'm black, which doesn't offend me at all because I got black in me. You know, you guys want to act like it's the same thing. Like it's the same thing. You want to use your little homosexual card, meaning he's homophobic, as using the card in other words as he's racist. No, don't confuse the two. Racism and homophobic people is not the same shit. It is not the same shit. Homophobic people don't like the fact that you're with the same gender. Okay? Now, when somebody hates you because of your skin color and your race, that's even worse. That's even worse. And you guys try to compare the two. You try guys to how many people don't threaten civil lawsuits against companies? I said this about my last 2 live streams ago. How many people haven't tried to sue because civil lawsuits because they were offended because they were homos? No, civil lawsuits were made for people that are being racist towards another skin color, not your sexual preference. Get that through your fucking head. Your skin color has nothing to do with you being a homosexual. So stop using that. And I think Donald Trump needs to do something about that. Letting these homosexuals use civil lawsuits when civil lawsuits are for people that are being discriminated against because of their skin color and their ethnicity, not because they choose to be with a dude or a female. Ding, 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 ding. You just won $1 million. See, that's the woke they want you to believe. And that's why it's so disgusting to me when these transgender dudes are saying, oh, I'm going to file a civil lawsuit, when no, they don't have to accept it. You need to understand that. They don't have to accept it. That's like if somebody doesn't give you a job because they don't have to. It's not an obligation. You can't force I'm a straight guy, and I can't force everybody to like me on YouTube, because if everybody fucking liked me, I would be at 1 million subs right now. If everybody liked me, I would be making enough money on YouTube that I wouldn't have to have a career as a security officer, right? Yes. So what makes you more important to me? Because you like the same sex? Get the fuck out of here. That makes you more important to me. Well, Alex is straight and I'm gay, so I should have more privileges. No. You know, just like the whole fake concept of, oh, homosexuals are all happy and goofy and no. You know how many homosexuals get cheated on at the bars? I'll see them come in there with their husband. The next day they will be in there with another dude. The females will be in there with their wife. The next weekend they'll be in there with another female. That doesn't guarantee you a happy fucking relationship. And that's what I get mad, man, because most people just want to say they're gay because they think it's a new trend. And you're disrespecting everybody. And everybody that watches my live streams, I'm not going to repeat what happened to me. That's not something I'm going to keep repeating. So I can speak the way I want to speak. Because like I said, you guys are just disgusting. Seriously. Using civil lawsuits because somebody was quote unquote homophobic. Like if somebody being homophobic is the same thing as somebody being racist. It's just funny, guys. That's what I'm saying. That's what Democrats teach you, man. I'm serious. That's what the Democrats want you to believe. You know what I'm saying? They want you to believe that you, as a heterosexual, should have less rights than a homosexual. Homosexual is the new DNA, the new trend, and I guess the new fucking I don't know what to call it. The new religion, the new way to be. It's just crazy, guys. I'm here to open your eyes. I'm serious, guys, because like I said, I don't care if I don't get no more subscribers. I don't get no more subscribers. It doesn't really mean anything to me because I'm not getting paid enough to pay the bills. So it doesn't matter. And that's why I decided to change the name to Raw Tech, because this is Raw Tech. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna hear me sugarcoat anything. If I think something's wrong in the Democratic Party, I'm gonna talk about it. Some people might like it, some people might not. Some people might agree with it, some people might not. But you'll open your eyes one day. Like I said, I was a hardcore Democrat ever since I was able to vote at 18 years old, all the way to Joe Biden became the president. After Joe Biden became the president, I said, oh, hell no, I'm done with this shit. After I started really doing my research on the left side and seeing how people get taught to despise other people because of what happened in their past, I was like, I don't want to be part of this. I do not want to be part of this. You what? Tell it like it is. Yeah, I know. Thank you, bro. You're right about that. I do tell them how it is, like it is, and it's a fact, man. Like I said, hey, yo, you shouldn't have a right. That's like saying, right? I go for a job, right? I go for a job, another security officer's job, right? And there's another security officer, but he's gay. You know, he's flamboyant. He's out there, you know, and they give the job to him because he's gay, and they don't give the job to me when I have more experience than him. I've been doing security for almost a decade, and let's say he's been doing security for 6 months. So I'm overqualified, and just because he's gay, they give him the job. No, that's not how shit flies. What's up, Joseph? That's not how shit flies. It's like Charlie used to say, you shouldn't be picked at a job based on your race. You should be picked based on your knowledge and your skills. And that's how it should always be. But sometimes they don't care about your knowledge and your skills. Like I said, my nephew was fired after working at his job for a decade because they found a young boy that could do his job and get paid less. They were paying my nephew 150 grand a year, and they're gonna pay this boy 50 grand a year. So they saved 100 grand by firing my nephew. There you go. So they're not going based on skills and knowledge. They're going based on who cares, you know, who cares. And it's just sad. It's crazy. Seriously, guys, it's just sad. That's just crazy. Really, really crazy. Really, really crazy, guys. But, you know, this is the world we're living in. Hopefully people wake up and smell the coffee. Like I said, I speak the truth. That is a fact. You know, people used to talk so much about Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter were the first ones looting, which is crazy. They were the first one invoking the looting. And they were all Democrats. All Democrats hurting local businesses and hurting everything. They were all Democrats. So it's just crazy. How the hell can you stand on a side as a Democrat that invokes violence every time something happens? Charlie died, and the Republicans, the Republicans, because I'm Republican, didn't do no looting, didn't do no breaking, no burning cars, nothing was burnt down. That's to show you the difference. You know how many Democrats have flip sides right now? Because it was like, yo, you're right. That is crazy. Alex, I didn't want to comment on your live stream, but I am commenting over here on TikTok. On TikTok. You're 100% right. You were 100% right. If that would have been a Democrat person that would have got sniped like Charlie did, right now there would have been cars burning down over here in Chicago next to my house. There would have been all types of crazy shit. But since it was a Republican, Republicans handle things differently instead of with violence. You don't handle nothing with violence. Violence doesn't solve anything. You know, I don't see no looting. I don't see no burnt trees, no burnt houses, no burnt Walmart, no local businesses being broken into, looting and taking jewelry, or the corner store taking their chips or anything like that. And that's to show the difference. So now I tell all the Democrats that watch me, welcome to the Republican Party. Are you sure you still want to be a Democrat? You're seeing how we're handling Charlie's death. We're handling Charlie's death the way that the death of the person I named earlier, I forgot his name, the dude that couldn't breathe, he had the leg on his neck and he died, and people started looting and going crazy when he died because of an overdose. So you see the difference? Oh, what was his name? Jesus, I gotta Google it. Hold on, I gotta Google it because I can't remember his name. Google. Who was the guy that died that people started looting because the cops had his foot on their neck? Let me see. Who is that guy? I just had his name earlier. And George Floyd. There we go. George Floyd. People looted, Democrats looted, burned down cop cars because of George Floyd, and George Floyd was a fucking criminal. But yet Charlie, that was not a criminal, was a law-abiding citizen, had two beautiful kids, a boy and a girl, and a beautiful wife, and was a law-abiding citizen that was teaching your youth about politics and Christianity. He dies and nobody goes crazy. But yet George Floyd died and everybody went total chaos. Total chaos. Over here where I live at, there was over almost more than $250,000 in damages when George Floyd died in New Jersey. And just where I live at. That's not even talking about other parts of New Jersey. So you see, look it up. Remind yourself, the Democrats that are watching right now, remind yourself, when George Floyd died, a person that did coke, did crack, was a total, he had a sheet record from here to California. And people went crazy. But yet, Charlie dies and nobody goes crazy. Nobody's breaking into Walmarts. Nobody's looting. Nobody's breaking anything. That's to show you how things are different on the Republican side. And that's exactly why I'm on the Republican side. Because the Democratic side has you wired to believing the nonsense that spews out their mouth. Nothing but hatred and keeping you enslaved in your brain about the past instead of thinking about the future. And I'm not down with that. I'm not down with that. And that's why a lot of people hated Charlie. He said the truth. He spoke the truth. And that's why people hated him. And a lot of people still respected him because he spoke the truth. Because the whole Democratic side is based on lies. Illuminati, what are they? Democrats. Every person that's in the Illuminati that worships the devil is a Democrat. The people in power are Democrats. And that's a fact. The big pharma, $1 trillion company, devil worshippers, Democrats. So who funded Kamala Harris, a whole bunch of wealthy Democrats did. So that's what I'm saying. Like, of course, if you want to keep your foot on people's neck, what you do, you put somebody that's not going to open their eyes. Donald Trump is opening eyes and raising questions. That's what he's doing. And yeah, tariffs. Okay. China, Mexico, and all these other countries have been screwing America for so long. So it's about time. So I'm on. Hope that move helps turn to the Republican side. That's what I'm trying to do, bro. I'm speaking the truth so Democrats that are confused can know that they don't have to be confused. The Democrat side wants you to remember slavery. The Republican side wants you to cope and start not forgetting completely, but start coping and letting it go slowly. Because at the end of the day, you weren't a slave. You were not a slave. Are you a slave right now? Do you see stores and where you live at that say white only? No, man. No. So you need to stop. You need to stop. But finding out yourself, like I said, the first president to release the slaves was Republican. Mr. Lincoln is a Republican president. And he's the one who released the slaves. Right then alone, you should know, oh, shit, it was a Republican slave that let my people go. And I'm talking shit about them. But yet, that means that the people that were enslaving black people were Democrat. Ding, ding, ding. You just won a Nobel Prize. You just won a Nobel Prize. You just won a Nobel Prize. It is crazy, man. It is crazy. And I said I wasn't going to talk about politics, but I just feel like I have to. I really have to, because I feel like a lot of people are following Democratic Party blindside. Just blindly.
Look, stage last year, and the first time I saw some clips from Charlie Kirk, I'm not gonna lie, I rolled my eyes. I was a little annoyed. I was like, who's this young, hot-head white dude trying to piss people off, asking them random questions? But this year, 2025, was the first time I actually started following him. I started following him top of this year on TikTok and on Instagram, and I can honestly say every single time I would listen to him, I would feel boldness rise in me. I can actually feel faith rise in me. I was very impressed by this guy who stood up for what he believed. And you know what's funny is so many Christians are saying that Charlie Kirk is not a Christian. Well, first of all, how many people have you led to Christ? We saw this week alone that hundreds, millions of people across the nation gathered not to riot, but to worship. People that would have never stepped foot in church have come to know who Jesus Christ is because of the life of Charlie Kirk. I am a witness to tell you that I have been impacted by Charlie Kirk's life. Some people are calling him racist, nationalist, fascist, bigot, white supreme. First of all, you don't know what half of that stuff even means. I'm here to testify and witness to tell you that Charlie Kirk has impacted my life this year because of following him. He has allowed me to feel this boldness to stand up for what I believe. And all year long, every single time I listen to Charlie, it just lifts me up. And some people are out there like they're slandering his name, and you don't even have firsthand experience. Matter of fact, you're just regurgitating stuff that you heard people. You don't even know what fascist even means. Just saying random stuff because we live in a clip culture. You see 7 seconds out of context. For me as a preacher, I really do not hope people will take clips out of context. But you know what? It happens. And I can testify and witness. I wish somebody, first of all, you try to come for me, because the thing is, I'm not regurgitating somebody else's experience. I can testify and tell you that Charlie Kirk has impacted my life. And to see a widow forgive someone who killed their spouse, it's crazy. Now, when other people die, other people say, yo, I would never forgive that guy. But to know that we serve a savior, people who truly have Jesus in their heart can forgive and love. My heart goes out to Erica Kirk, goes out to the family, goes out to those kiddos. But honestly, man, I am just encouraged by the life of Charlie Kirk. Hope you can be too, please.
There you go. And that was a brother talking. A black brother talking.
There's this little thing called tape.
Rector Coney, have you ever
been an anonymous source in news reports about matters relating to the Trump investigation or the Clinton investigation?
Never.
Have you ever authorized someone else at the FBI to be an anonymous source in news reports about the Trump investigation or the Clinton investigation?
Yes,
no,
he's
I
lying.
needed to get that out into the public square. And so I asked a friend of mine to share the content of the memo with a reporter. Didn't do it myself for a variety of reasons, but I asked him to because I thought that might prompt the appointment of a special counsel.
And there we have it. Oh, there's this little thing called tape.
Rector Comey, have you ever been
There you go. And that's the FBI. The FBI putting out fake propaganda on the great Donald Trump.
Who you voted for? Let's dive in for more.
In 2 years, I'm going to lose my housing. All because the guidelines for Section 8 have changed.
Let me think. Who can I blame for me living this way? Got it.
Since you-know-who got into office.
Damn, it's all his fault, sis? You get none of the blame for your current circumstances?
They're saying that if you have a child that is school-aged, meaning if you don't have to stay home with your child, you have to be able to obtain employment, have a full-time job, and you cannot be on Section 8 past 2 years unless you have a disability.
Am I missing something? That seems like plenty enough time to me for you to get on your feet.
Can you believe that?
Yes, ma'am, I can. Sounds like you got to get out here and get this money like the rest of us have. Go make it happen. My apologies, brother. You're right. I've been slacking. Take action.
There you go. Look at this girl, this Republican girl smacking this guy because he has a MAGA hat. Look, listen.
Yeah, the way that it's been happening, it's not so great. So please take that off, otherwise I'm not sitting down.
It's been pretty great for me, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, pretty great for you? What about the rest of the country? I'm not sitting next to someone wearing that hat.
What's your issue? Just sit down.
No,
I'm trying to get on the flight. Let's go.
Show me your ticket, please. I don't think someone wearing that hat would be sitting in first class.
Why would I be in this?
I find that very hard to believe. This doesn't involve you, okay?
Come on, we just want to go. Sit down.
Like I shouldn't. This is.
That looks like a fake ticket.
Look, what is this?
Ticket.
What is this? 1A?
Yeah.
1A? Oh, and what does that say? 1A. Oh.
Fake ticket.
Can I see your ticket?
News. Fake news. You
How
have
do I
fake
know
news.
you even see here?
I'll show you my ticket. I'm getting the flight attendant because this is ridiculous.
Why do we need the flight attendant?
Because
just sit down in your
something
seat.
needs to happen because I'm not sitting next to someone wearing that.
Come on.
Oh my God, are you kidding? You're just making it worse.
She is a camera.
This guy is wearing a MAGA hat and an I Heart Trump shirt. Where did you think? Did you make that
No,
yourself?
I didn't make it. I bought it off the website.
Oh my God, I'm not sitting next to. Can you take this from him, please? I'm not wearing.
What are you
I'm not
taking my
sitting
hat?
next to someone wearing that hat. We don't touch our personal
Look,
belongings.
it's not an issue. Is it
Yeah,
an
it
issue?
is an issue. I know I'm not the only one that offended that. I No, escort me off the plane. I haven't done anything wrong. Why don't you escort him off the plane?
I haven't done anything wrong.
And you're going to take your seat. Take my seat.
Why don't you just
sit down? It's just a hat.
Just look away. Don't look at me.
This is not about me. This is about you. All right. So,
Man, you're being kind of.
Oh, she smacked him.
Get her off.
Damn, she smacked them. You see how Democrats act? She smacked them for having a Make a Great America hat again. It is so dangerous to wear that hat. It's not even funny. It is not even funny. It's not even funny. It is not even funny. I'm dead serious. He got smacked. She wanted him off the plane. He said, how can you afford the first class and you have a Make America Great Again hat? That's to show you how Democrats act. And then she smacks him in the face. So I can go through plenty of videos on Twitter. Just do you guys got Twitter, man. Most people follow me anyway. Just look at the stupidity that Democrats do and then tell me if you still want to be a Democrat. That's all I'm going to tell you. Look at the stupidity Democrats do. Charlie died, no chaos. George Floyd died, complete chaos. There's difference. Do you want to be on the side of chaos Or do you want to be on the side of God worshiping and correct way to act? And look at that. Charlie's death got 100 million people to convert to Christianity, which that makes me almost cry. You know, it's crazy that, but people are seeing the light. And the crazy shit is that most of them people are Democrat, you know, and they are seeing the light. Because just think about it, man. Just please, God, please help these people. Seriously, help them. Help these people, because it's crazy. Like, just think about it, right? George Floyd died because he was overdosing. He gave fake money to a clerk at a store. Okay, Charlie died because he was speaking the truth about Christianity. He wasn't just talking about politics. He was talking about God. And who hates God? The Illuminati. Because how they got their riches? By being devil worshippers. Only somebody that's possessed would act like this bitch. Because she is a bitch. She's a Karen and she's a bitch. Let me just listen to this.
I'm not sitting next to someone wearing that hat.
What's wrong with my hat?
What's wrong with your hat? It says "Make America Great Again." That's what's wrong with your hat.
Were you against making America great?
Yeah, the way that it's been happening, it's not so great. So please take that off.
This extreme leftist Democrat woman that's a Karen should not be allowed in no airplane until she gets a psych revaluation. She needs to go see a psychiatrist. I'm not even joking. Because to get so overwhelmed by what somebody's wearing, it's just ridiculous. It's freedom of speech. If somebody could wear on an airplane a FU shirt with a middle finger pointing and nobody gets offended, why should somebody get offended because he's wearing a Donald Trump shirt and red hat that says "Make America Great Again"? Like, this is just disgusting. Something needs to be done about these psycho women that go around smacking other people and taking their property when that's against the law. And they need to see psych evaluations, and she shouldn't be allowed in a plane until she gets that. Until she shows American Airlines and everybody else that she's not a threat on a plane and she is safe to ride with for 250 other customers and flight people and even the attendants. Yeah, she should not be allowed on the plane anymore until she gets a psych revaluation. And I'm not joking. So there you go. Like I said, I show facts. I don't sit here and bullshit. You heard the black preacher saying that Charlie changed his life, and he's a brother. He's not saying here calling him a bigot, a racist, a neo-Nazi, like a lot of dummies are doing. Knowledge is key. Knowledge is key. And I'm sorry, because God doesn't want me calling people dummies. I'm trying to lead myself in a better path. And that's why, you know, every time you see one of my videos, I say, take care, God bless, and be safe. I'm giving you a blessing. Because I do want to change. You know, I just think do your research before you look ridiculous. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm not even going to call people dumb no more. I'm going to call them ridiculous. Before you look ridiculous on social media, do your research, man. Seriously. And now I got to go. So, guys, take care. God bless and be safe. It's been a pleasure to do this live stream. Like I said, I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I don't know if God put it in me to talk about this whole situation. It's just, you got to see the light, guys. Seriously. The Democrat side is full of darkness, hate, and nonsense. And the Republican side is full of grace of God. So it's like, if you're not following Jesus Christ, you're following Lucifer. Just always remember that. If you're not following God, you're following the devil. And how can we let a fascist, extreme left wing, full of hate and drama Democratic Party shine? Mm-mm. You know, it wasn't just the people, it was God that put Donald Trump as the president. You know, chat, whatever it's called, chat BT, whatever it is, I forget what it's called. This lady asked chat BT, what is Donald Trump? And chat BT said that Donald Trump gets a lot of hate for speaking truth. You know, that he's going to go down as one of the best presidents in history. And they also said they asked ChatGPT, if you were Lucifer, if you were the devil, what would you do to get people to leave God and not look for God? Oh, I would just put a smartphone in their hands and have them scrolling their life away on YouTube and on TikTok and on Facebook and on Twitter, and do all this stuff to distract them from reading the Bible and seeking worship for God. And that is true. And that's what Lucifer is doing to all of us. Because I ain't gonna lie, I'm not perfect. Most of the time I'm just looking for God when I need something, which is the truth, when I need something. Most of the day I'm just looking at other people's YouTube videos, watching movies, and not looking for him. And I downloaded the Bible and I haven't even read it, and I'm just gonna get into that. I think we should, if you got time for everything else, you got time for God, man. Because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. You got to give thanks to God every day, because every day, every second of the day, somebody dies all around the world, and you're still here. So always remember that, guys. While people are dying all around us, we're still here. And that's because of God. Thanks God he let me see another day. So it's really important to know that he's the way, he's the key to heaven. And without him, you ain't going nowhere. So God is the key. So I would say if you're too focused on other things like I am, try to focus more on, looking for God, man. Praying, taking time to pray, and doing things right. God doesn't want us to be perfect. He just wants us to acknowledge our errors, what we're doing wrong, and fix it. Because I'm sure it's hell not perfect. How many times don't I curse? Cursing is a sin. But I just get passionate about what I talk about. And, that's why I curse. He always knows what you're going to do before you do it. So I got to give thanks God for everything, man. Seriously. I'm still here because I have a purpose. If not, I would have been gone. But guys, I want to say thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If I offended anybody for cursing or what I said came out of my mouth out of anger, I truly do apologize from the bottom of my heart. Take care. God bless and be safe. And I will definitely catch you guys on the next one. And you already, and thank you for watching, guys. I hope that most of you guys do open your eyes like the other Democrats and join the right side to be on. Not the side of chaos, the side of kindness and love. Not the side of chaos.